Today, I am turning a simple butter sponge cake into a fresh fruit celebration using soft mascarpone and whipping cream frosting, layers of citrus and berry flavors, and a colorful topping of strawberries, blueberries, and green grapes. First comes the sponge cake. A good butter sponge cake is light, soft, and perfect for layering because it absorbs flavors beautifully while still holding its shape. You can sandwich cakes in many easy ways depending on the flavor you want. One of the best parts of cake sandwiching is combining flavors that balances each other beautifully. A soft sponge cake acts like a blank canvas, allowing you to build layers of sweetness, freshness, richness, and texture. When mixing flavors, it helps to think about balance. If your frosting is rich and creamy, adding something fruity or citrusy keeps the cake feeling light and refreshing. That's why orange juice and raspberry jam work so well together in this cake. The citrus brightens the flavor while the berries add sweetness and a slightly tang. A simple way to building delicious cake layer is by combining three elements: something moist, something creamy, and something flavorful. For moisture, you can use fruit juice, sugar syrup, milk, coffee, or flavored syrups. For creaminess, mascarpone frosting, whipped cream, buttercream, cream cheese frosting, or chocolate ganache work beautifully. Then for flavor, you can add jams, fresh fruits, caramel, nuts, chocolate, or curds. Some classic flavor combinations are always reliable. Strawberry with vanilla cream creates a light and fresh taste. Chocolate and coffee give a rich cafe-style flavor. Lemon curd with whipped cream tastes bright and refreshing. Mango with coconut cream brings a tropical touch. Berries with cream cheese frosting create a soft balance of sweet and tangy flavor. Texture is also important while sandwiching cakes. Soft cream combined with juicy fruits, crunchy nuts, or smooth jam makes every bite more interesting and satisfying. Another helpful tip is not to overload the filling. Too much moisture or cream can make the layers slide or become unstable. Thin, even layers help the cake stays neat while still giving plenty of flavor. You can also layer flavors gradually instead of using only one strong flavor. For example, a thin spread of raspberry jam underneath mascarpone cream creates depth without overpowering the cake. And sometimes the simplest combinations are the most delicious. vanilla sponge, fresh cream, and seasonal fruits can taste elegant, light, and homemade all at once. Cake sandwiching is really about creativity and personal taste. There are no strict rules, just different ways of combining flavors, textures, and colors to create something beautiful and enjoyable. Some people use simple sugar syrup to moisten the cake, while others use fruit juice like I did today. Fillings can also be customized with chocolate ganache, fresh fruits, lemon curd, caramel, crushed nuts, or even flavored whipped cream. A homemade cake becomes a special when you mix textures and flavors that you personally enjoy. Before adding any filling, I gently brush each layer with orange juice. This step keeps the cake moist and adds a light citrus freshness that balances the sweetness of the frosting. For the frosting, I am using mascarpone cheese combined with whipping cream. This combination creates a light, creamy texture that is less heavy than buttercream and pairs beautifully with fresh fruits. If you want easier alternatives to mascarpone frosting, you can also use stabilized whipped cream, cream cheese frosting, buttercream, or even Greek yogurt based frosting for a lighter version. The combination I made on my cake, which is orange juice, raspberry jam, and mascarpone whipping cream frosting was super delicious at the end. After layering the cakes evenly, I move on to the crumb coating. Crumb coating is a thin first layer of frosting spread around the cake to trap loose crumbs before the final decoration. Think of it as preparing a smooth base for the final finish. This step helps create a cleaner and more polished cake. Once the thin coat is applied, the cake is usually chilled for a few minutes so the frosting can firm up slightly. The shiny sugar glaze you often see brushed over fruits on cakes is usually called a fruit glaze or mirror glaze. It serves a few purposes. Makes fruit look glossy and fresh, helps prevent fruits from drying out or browning, adds a light sweetness, helps hold fruit in place on the cake. A thin layer made from warmed apricot jam or preserves, often strained and diluted with a little water. It gives a clear golden shine, mild flavor that doesn't overpower fruit, common on strawberry tarts and fruit cakes. In my cake, I made a sugar glaze by adding 2 tablespoons of sugar and 2 tablespoons of water, heated on a low flame until the sugar dissolves, and let it cool. Now comes my favorite part, decorating. Fresh strawberries, blueberries and green grapes bring natural color, texture and freshness to the cake. I like arranging the fruits gently and naturally so the cake feels homemade, elegant and inviting at the same time. Decorating doesn't have to be complicated. You can place fruits casually for a rustic look, create neat patterns for a more elegant finish, or even add mint leaves, edible flowers, chocolate shavings, or crushed nuts for extra texture. What I love most about cakes like this is how flexible they are. A simple sponge cake can become something completely different just by changing the filling, frosting, or fruit combination. This cake is soft, fruity, creamy, and refreshing, perfect for birthdays, tea time celebrations, or simply sharing with family and friends. Made with love, baked with passion, and decorated with all my heart. Every layer tells a story, every detail holds a little piece of joy. Here is to celebrating life, sweetness, and the beauty of creating something from the heart. And the best part is that you don't need professional techniques to create something beautiful. Simple layering, a light crumb coat, fresh cream, and seasonal fruits can turn an everyday cake into something truly special. Thank you for watching my video until the end, and bye bye until I see you with another interesting video.